David Letterman risked everything to tell this story, not because he shouted it or sensationalized it, but because he stayed calm when most would have cracked. He used silence as a scalpel. The lights in the studio were warm, familiar. Across from him sat Donald Trump, a man whose presence filled every room he walked into, even before he opened his mouth. The audience had seen celebrities here, movie stars, musicians, comedians. But this was different. This was the President of the United States. Letterman leaned back slightly in his chair, smiling in that effortless, knowing way that made millions feel like he was speaking just to them. "Mr. President," he said casually, "there's been a lot of talk about you lately." Trump smiled. He was used to this kind of opening. A few jabs, a few jokes, maybe a ratings comparison. Easy stuff. Then Letterman added one more sentence, still smiling. "And about Ivanka." The smile on Trump's face didn't fade. It shifted. His jaw set slightly. His eyes flicked for a second. It wasn't panic. It was calculation. "What do you mean talk about my daughter?" he said. It wasn't really a question. It was a challenge. The laughter that had accompanied the earlier exchange died instantly. The studio shifted. Quiet. Dense. The kind of silence that suggests the audience collectively leaned forward. Letterman didn't flinch. He'd been here before. Well, not quite here. This was different, but he recognized the rhythm. "You want to talk about ratings?" Letterman said, his voice low, measured. "Let's talk about the truth." That was the first moment where everything changed. Trump blinked, not visibly, not to the average viewer, but to those paying attention. It was there, a flicker of hesitation. And in that moment, Letterman reclaimed the room. Trump leaned in harder. He went on offense. He jabbed at Letterman's career, called him bitter, accused him of chasing relevance. It was a familiar tactic: overwhelm, dominate, control the tempo. But Letterman didn't fight back. He waited. He listened. And then he reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. The move was casual, unthreatening, but it silenced the room again. On the screen, he played a clip, an old interview, a moment between Trump and another host years ago. The tone was light back then, a joke, supposedly. But now, in this context, it hit differently. Trump laughed awkwardly. Letterman looked directly at him. "What if it wasn't a joke?" Trump blinked. "This is old. Come on. You're pulling ancient stuff." Letterman let the silence hang. Then he said, "I received something recently." He reached under his desk and held up a manila envelope. He didn't wave it. He didn't make a show of it. He just opened it and removed a stack of papers. These, he said, were sent anonymously. Hospital records, medical files, legal documents, all referencing one birth, one child. He placed them gently on the desk. "According to these," he continued, his voice steady, "Ivanka Trump is listed as the mother. Donald J. Trump is listed as the father. The child, born when she was 23. A gasp escaped from the audience. The air in the studio wasn't just tense, it was brittle. Trump's eyes narrowed. "That's fake. That's photoshopped garbage," he snapped. Letterman didn't engage. He didn't argue. He simply tapped his finger on the documents. "Show us the real ones, then," he said softly. Trump leaned forward, his voice rising. "You're sick. You're dragging my daughter into this." Letterman didn't blink. Then, without a word, he played another clip. This one, behind-the-scenes footage from a decade-old taping. In it, Trump, off mic but caught faintly, said, "She's mine in every way." The audio was grainy, easy to dismiss out of context, but not here, not now. Letterman paused the video. He looked at the audience, then back at Trump. "That," he said, "was recorded 3 weeks before Ivanka disappeared from public life for 9 months, her modeling break in Europe." Trump interrupted again. "She was working. That's what people do." Letterman remained composed. "Of course," he said, "but during those 9 months, someone was receiving prenatal deliveries to her apartment." "How do you know that?" Trump asked. Then a voice came from off stage. A former staffer walked forward. "Fictional, yes, but the testimony was devastating." "I delivered them," the staffer said, "under direct instructions from Mr. Trump." Trump laughed, but it was hollow now. "It's a setup. You think I'd use my own name for that?" Letterman calmly continued. "She had help. A network of silence, NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and then another voice. Ivanka's former assistant stepped out. Visibly nervous, shaking, she looked down before speaking. "I was told never to speak about anything involving the child. I signed paperwork. It was clear." The audience gasped again. Trump stood. For a moment, it looked like he might walk out, but instead, he sat back down. His face was flushed. His words came fast now. "You're pushing lies. This is all fiction." Letterman looked at him quietly. "Then prove it. Bring the documents. Show us the truth." Trump didn't respond, not right away. Letterman continued, now laying out a full timeline. Ivanka's disappearance, the prenatal deliveries, the hospital records, the Swiss clinic with alternate registration under a pseudonym. Every piece of data lined up. He didn't accuse, he simply asked, "Why the secrecy?" The studio was silent. The audience didn't clap. They didn't shout. They simply watched. Trump leaned in, desperate now. "This is beneath you, Dave." Letterman looked up. "Is the truth beneath anyone, Mr. President?" Then he paused, and with the full force of calm authority, he spoke the line. That would define the night. "If this is all a lie, then show us the truth." Trump didn't respond. He stared, and in that moment, the shift was complete. The audience wasn't watching a host and a guest anymore. They were watching control change hands. The interview ended minutes later. Trump left the studio quickly. His team released a statement within the hour. Denials, accusations of editing, bias, fraud. But the public had already seen the interview, already watched it unfold in real time. No shouting, no chaos. Just one man with a question and another without an answer. The tension didn't end when the cameras turned off. It spread across networks, across headlines, across conversations in living rooms and boardrooms and Twitter feeds. Letterman didn't say much in the days after. He didn't need to. He had asked a question the world couldn't unhear. And in doing so, he reminded everyone that power can be challenged, not with volume, but with patience, not with dominance, but with truth, even if that truth comes softly, even if it comes in silence, because sometimes the most dangerous question is the one that waits.